Chapter 2. The Billionaire Father, a Modern Analogy. Imagine a billionaire father, not just a man of wealth, but the architect of a vast global empire. His businesses stretch across continents. His name holds power in courtrooms, boardrooms, and nations. He has only one son, his beloved heir, born into unimaginable privilege. From birth, the son is raised with access to everything: bank accounts, luxury cars, private jets, and influence. He doesn't have to earn this access. It was given to him because of who he is, not what he's done. The only condition the father places on the inheritance is this: you must never betray the secrets of the family. Our legacy depends on it. Our influence rests on discretion. Guard what has been entrusted to you. The son agrees. But as he grows, so does his appetite for independence. He enjoys the wealth, but slowly forgets the responsibility. He falls in love with a woman outside the family's inner circle. Blinded by emotion and arrogance, he begins to share confidential information. Small things at first, but then one night, he reveals something sacred. A secret that generations before him had protected with blood and loyalty. He believes she's trustworthy, but the woman betrays him. She exposes the secret. The media explodes. Competitors take advantage. The empire is shaken, and for the first time, the father's voice is not filled with affection, but authority. You've broken the covenant. You've disqualified yourself from the rights of this house. The father doesn't hate his son, but he knows that love without discipline is corruption. The son is exiled, cut off from the accounts, the staff, the estate, the name. What was once his by inheritance is now out of reach. He is still a son, but he no longer walks in the power of sonship. The fall was a legal breach of trust. This story mirrors Eden. Adam was not just a man, he was an heir. He was entrusted with a kingdom. He was given dominion over the earth, authority to rule, and the sacred responsibility to protect what God had built. You are free to eat from any tree, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Genesis 2:16-17. That tree wasn't just fruit. It was the line between loyalty and treason. When Adam and Eve violated God's command, they didn't just make a mistake. They broke a covenant. They leaked kingdom secrets to the enemy. And like the son in the analogy, they were removed from position, not because they were no longer loved, but because they could no longer be trusted. The fall of man was a legal breach, a violation of heaven's trust. Dominion was forfeited. Access was revoked. Earth became a rogue colony, no longer governed by the Spirit of God, but by the spirit of independence. Exile is not the end. It's the beginning of understanding. The son in the story ends up on the streets, confused and disoriented. At first, he's angry. Then he's ashamed. Then, as time passes, he remembers. He begins to see what he couldn't before: the weight of his father's wisdom, the depth of the family's legacy, and the fragility of trust. And in that humility, something shifts. He doesn't just want access, he wants reconciliation. He doesn't just want benefits, he wants restoration. Years pass, and finally, he returns, not demanding, not entitled, but repentant. And to his surprise, the father sees him from a distance and runs to him. He embraces him, clothes him, and says, "You were dead, but now you're alive. You were lost, but now you are found." Luke 15:24. The father reinstates him, not instantly to inheritance, but to training. He is given tutors, responsibilities, and time to rebuild trust. The son learns that true authority is not inherited, it is stewarded. This is the gospel of the kingdom. You were born into a fallen system. You were born a royal heir, but in exile. You had no memory of the kingdom. You learned the ways of the world. You chased validation. You leaked your destiny for temporary pleasure. You chose culture over covenant. But your father never stopped watching, never stopped waiting. He has always desired to restore you, not just to fellowship, but to function, not just to relationship, but to representation. The story of salvation is not about making you a better person. It's about reinstating you as a kingdom representative, a trusted son or daughter who walks in wisdom, authority, and alignment with the government of heaven. Reinstatement requires maturity. Like the son in the story, your return is only the beginning. You don't get a crown before you've been trained. You don't represent the king until you understand the laws of the kingdom. You are an heir, but heirs must grow before they rule. What I am saying is that as long as the heir is underage, he is no different from a slave. He is subject to guardians and trustees until the time set by his father. Galatians 4:1-2. That's what spiritual discipline is for. That's what this book is for. You are the son in the story. Let this story become personal. You are the one who broke trust. You are the one who forgot your father's words. But now, you are the one being called back. The king is inviting you to return, not just emotionally, but legally, into covenant, into alignment, and into ambassadorial training. There is no sin so great that it cannot be covered by the Father's robe. There is no failure so deep that it cannot be restored by the blood of the Lamb. But your return must come with repentance. Your return must come with humility. And your return must come with a readiness to be trained. Because the kingdom does not need more celebrities. It needs more ambassadors. The story of the billionaire father and his rebellious son serves as a mirror to something far greater than a tale of family wealth and discipline. It points to a divine reality that reaches beyond earthly luxuries and failures. While the son in the analogy was sent away to experience the consequences of his pride and rebellion, it is not punishment for punishment's sake. It is a purposeful exile designed to humble the heart, restore gratitude, and prepare them to rule with wisdom. This is not just a parable, it is our condition. Mankind, like the billionaire's son, was created in royalty, formed by a father who is not only wealthy in material terms, but sovereign over all existence. When we rebelled against his commands, we were thrust into a world governed by natural consequences. Yet even in our exile, the king never stopped being our father. His desire was always restoration, but restoration through revelation. That revelation comes through his laws. As the son in the story began to realize his errors, he longed for the standards of his father's house. He remembered the rules he once despised, rules that now make sense in light of his suffering. Similarly, humanity must awaken to the reality that the King of Heaven has established laws, not to enslave us, but to guide us into life. This is the threshold we now cross. We move from analogy to reality, from the halls of a fictional estate to the throne room of the eternal King, from the story of the son who broke earthly rules to the truth of a humanity that broke divine laws. In the next chapter, we uncover the order of that kingdom. We look closely at what the king requires, not out of control or tyranny, but because his laws are life. They teach us not just how to live, but how to rule. For the king who exiled us also intends to make us rulers in his kingdom. But first, we must learn the laws of both earth and heaven.